All right. Welcome to the halftime show. It's your boy Phil Robinson III. I'm waiting for Phil Jones if he jumps in here or not. Whether he does or not, I don't know. This game so far is exactly what the Raiders did not need. It's been the blocking has been subpar. It's been okay. I'm not going to say that it's been terrible. The tackling has not been good. The run defense is awful. So far, the Raiders have given up 51 yards on 11 rushes to Damian Williams with a touchdown. They are getting after the quarterback, but the story of today so far has been the run game and exploitation of the cover three zone. Now, the Bradley scheme is cover three, and it's a good scheme. It's preventing the Bears from getting deep. But what you're seeing now for a couple weeks in a row is teams are feasting on the linebackers and the short throws and running switches against zone coverage so that there's always a guy open and the defender has to make a decision on where it is that he's going to go and who he's going to cover, and the quarterback just throws it to the other guy. I mean, it's basically flooding a short zone with two guys instead of three. Is usually you flood a zone. That's how you beat it. I don't get how people say we have a great offense when they never show up for the first half. There's a lot. They don't show up for the first half. Unless the quarterback is running the sneak on 4th and 1, they can't convert a third down, which is a 4th and 1, which is incredible. You would think at some point it would have had to have happened, but it's just not happening. What's up, Jesse? It's crazy. It's crazy. So far, the Bears have already ran for 98 yards on 20 rushes. It's halftime. Already damn near at 100. This run defense is awful. Said, yes, Yannick has got to the quarterback a couple of times and supplied some heat, but quite frankly, the run defense is awful, and they need to do something to address it. Delayed dives, delayed handoffs are all gashing the Raiders. Run the cutback lanes on the zone. They're not huge lanes, but when you get through them, they're wide open corridors is what they are. And like my man BL said, it is hard to watch the Bears run it down our throats. These no-name running backs are out here looking like all-world guys. And they got to do something to address it. They got to switch it up. Bradley is who he is, and we love him, and he's done great things with coaching up the defense for the simplicity of the scheme, but he's going to have to make some alterations and do some different things because the offenses are learning the simplicity of his scheme as well. And in doing so, they're exploiting it. And for the last couple of weeks, you've seen it. You saw it. The Steelers started it off. The Dolphins kept it going. And the Chargers perfected it. Just slice and dice, quick hitting slants and outs. And hit guys in the passing windows, and you can go right down the field. You don't have to throw the ball deep on the Raiders to get it into the end zone, especially the way they're not stopping the run. Carr is out here. He's doing his thing. He's missed some guys. He's gotten sacked. He's talking a gang of crap to Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack is talking a gang of crap to him. But his first throw was in the quadruple coverage for Hunter Renfrow. I'm like, come on. And it may not have been quadruple coverage. It was probably zone, but he literally threw it in the middle of four guys. And he was lucky that didn't get picked off on the tip. And so there's got to be some better decision-making going on. He's missed Edwards, and they've had good play calls. The execution, when I spoke to Phil earlier, about what it was that they needed to win this game, I said they need to block, they need to tackle, and they need to execute. The blocking has been serviceable. It's been good enough. Yes, they've given up a sack, but, I mean, you got to look. They're talking about Khalil Mack and the Bears defense. Now, what they need to do is stop holding. Alex Leatherwood is a holding machine. And even though he's been flagged for all the times that he's been flagged, there have been plenty of opportunities to get flags that the refs have let him slide on. The holding is a problem. And regardless of if these guys are backups and they weren't supposed to start, so regardless if they're learning on the job and trying to gain experience, they've got to play better. They've got to stop holding. Every time the Raiders offense puts points on the board, they got to stop getting it taken off because the line is grabbing on and hugging guys to make sure that they can give a second to their quarterback to get it done. The dumb effing penalties every effing game. Welcome to the Raiders, the Raider fandom. This is nothing new for us. Been looking at a lot of this. They have to be better. It's really that simple. They have to be better. What can we do moving forward to turn this around? It's not so much of the blitzing that's killing them. They've got to start working Ruggs on shorter routes. You have to stop playing into what the defense expects you to do. They expect you to go to Hunter Renfrow. They expect you to go to Waller. They expect you to run on certain downs. The strength of this team is its speed, and they're not utilizing the speed properly. Now, running go routes all game long isn't going to work at this level in the pros. You need more subterfuge and more deception to make that happen. Now, do they need a ton of window dressing? No, but here's a crazy idea. Just go with me on this one for a second. The next time you see Henry Ruggs go in a fly motion, maybe hand him the ball. Let him go ahead and take that. Because Jacobs isn't fast enough to bust it out to the outside. He's trying to run between the tackles because he's just not fast enough to get to the outside. And we have to take an honest look at that perhaps later on in the season or after this game. But your guy Jacobs is really slow to get to and get through the holes, and that is making a difference. The line isn't terrible on every play. There are legitimate opportunities that aren't being recognized because your running back isn't getting to the hole. Spoke on that earlier, but yeah, it's predictable. Everyone knows what's coming. And at some point, he's got to be willing to try something different. For the last 3 weeks in a row, he's run into the same game plan against him, and he's countered it with the same tactics and habits. And he's got to switch something up and do something different. In terms of what I thought might happen, it does not look like the team gave up on him. They're still behind him. They're still playing for him. Commentators spoke about a monetary fine and sensitivity training for a punishment. So we may be out of the woods on the fire and the coach thing, but they're losing to the Bears. This should not be happening. This should not be happening at all. The Bears are not a good team. And quite frankly, right now, the Raiders look like they're sliding back down into that territory and coming back to reality after a 3-0 start. It sucks that injuries can have this much of an impact on the team, but I mean, it is what it is. They got to figure out a way to get better play on the line. They got to figure out a way to settle down, execute on offense without committing penalties. And they got to get back to what I said earlier. They got to block, they got to tackle, they got to execute. It's that simple. But the score is 14-3. They get the ball coming out of the half. They score here. Now we got a brand new football game and a completely different story. So my prediction coming out of the half, we at least look like they might have something new going on. Hopefully we'll get one of those after the half runs that they make in the third quarter. They're still within 14, so that seems to be about the threshold for how long that they have or how many points they can successfully spot another team and still be in position to win this football game. It is what it is. I don't like it, but it is what it is. All right, last two. Lack of creativity is appalling. Everyone knows what we're doing on third or fourth and short every single series. I formation to give it to Jacobs. Jacobs not in. You got a quarterback sneak. No Jacobs, no QB sneak. You got multiple wide receivers out. You got to look for Renfro to sit down in the zone somewhere. I'm just saying, but it seems to be common knowledge. You know it, I know it, and apparently so does the defense. But kickoff just started, so I'll holler at y'all at the end of the game.